Good evening. Welcome to lecture 57. This is for the errors in simulation exercises. Earlier lectures, so we have discussed about the we have given the exercise using the DSAT, how we can solve the problems for the particularly input management, how the management decision can be taken using the crop model, that is a DSAT. So, those we have discussed about the several exercises. Hope you have gone through exercises. Once you run the DSAT models and start on doing the exercise, so there are chances you face some errors. So, this lecture will discuss what are the possible errors you can face and how we can take care of those errors. So, this lecture will be devoted for the errors you can encounter while running the crop model and what are the steps you can take to rectify those errors and go on your simulation exercises. So, after this lecture we have we are left with three lectures, lectures 58, 59, 60. Those lectures already as per our the previous live sessions we have assigned the three assignments for the three groups. We have made three groups of students. So, we are sending the assignment to each group and you are requested to do the assignment as per the instruction given using the data file shared with you, and the group leaders are already identified for each groups, and the group leaders are requested to send this the PPT of their own assignment what they have done with a short video. So, these assignments we will look in that one, and these things will be also presented as a lecture to all the students for this lecture 58, 59, 60, whatever the assignment is given to the groups. So, they will present their assignment. So, that will be as a displayed and that will be communicated to all the groups. So, that we can know. So, you are able to run this crop models with this training and the hands on exercise. You have got that much of the training so that you can run the simulations and you can have the management decisions for any unknown scenario. What are the either the input management or the climate change impact, what are the management decisions can be taken using the crop simulation exercise. So, here we will be discussing about some of the errors, and once we discuss the errors, then we will show you also as a hands on. So, what are the errors, how we can rectify these errors using this simulation exercise. So, errors you can see in the soil files. So, what are the errors you can see here. So, these are the common errors in soil file. Missing the soil profile layers may happen, incorrect soil depth values might have entered, then invalid soil parameters may be there. So, the parameters you are in the string you are entering, that may be invalid soil parameters, inconsistent units or the unrealistic values. So, these are the errors you can see, and if you in your the model, if I will show you, if you see the warning out. So, this screen will appear for the warning out IP the soil, the year, day of the year, these errors are there. This is shows 2014, the line is 196, year of the day of the year 196. So, these are the check the soil inputs, and then line 54 there is the errors you can see what are the errors are there. So, you have to go to field, check the soil type and the file code, then soil you can see the soil data, check the soil data entry, you can see the errors. So, once you see that the warning errors, then you can go to soil file, you can check the errors. This of course, will show you in model how you can take care of these errors. And similarly, you can find errors in the weather file. Weather file errors are these are the common errors you can see, either the missing daily data. Some cases it may happen there are suppose you have entered 20 years weather data, 30 years weather data. So, the very past years long data sets. So, it may happen there may be some missing information, the rainfall, either the maximum temperature or minimum temperature, solar radiations. So, this it may happen the missing data. So, you have to check in the missing data. Incorrect date format. So, date format what we have entered DSAT format, this date format may not be the correct one. So, you have to follow the DSAT format for the date. unrealistic value. Unrealistic value means now sometimes the temperature T max may be lower than the minimum temperature. So, this is and the errors may appear there. So, you have to check this one. Errors in the weather file upload, there may be error weather file, or the values may be sometimes there may be 0 value, temperature sometimes may have 0. So, you have you might have seen that whatever the boundary limit you are given for each variables, the values should appear within that boundary. So, it may happen the value is beyond that boundary, either the excessively high temperature or very low temperature it may happen. So, those type of errors you can see in the weather file. So, these are the common errors you can see here. Let us say they show there solar radiations, that is the 1 joule per 1 megajoules per meter square per day. So, this the line is 320, where solar radiation is 0.30 megajoules per meter square per day. Since your the string you have mentioned, the range you have given, this falls beyond the range. So, that shows the error. Similarly, the IP weather files, the year day of 2017, the day of the year 59. So, for that day T max is equal to T mean. So, there may be the line 65. So, T max 31 and T mean also 31. So, this type of errors you can see from the warning. If you check the warning out will give this such type of errors. Similarly, this is one error where the 2017 the day of the year 70, error in the weather data line 75. So, where solar radiation is 26.00 megajoules per meter square day, but T max is 0, T mean is 20, rain is 18.8 millimeter. So, in that case also the model will not work, or there no simulations because of the 0 which beyond the range you have specified. Similarly, T max is some cases T max is less than T mean. So, that is a year 2017. So, day of the year 70, where the T max is less than T mean. So, that type of error we can see in the weather file. So, you can have to go for you can see the weather. So, we will show you in the DSAT simulations how you can rectify such weather. We can go to check the weather section, name and code and year. They can check the fields also here. There may be the weather file not found, this may happen. So, that need to check it here. And of course, there will be that is a planting date and management errors, it may happen there. What happens now, the common errors, they are incorrect planting dates, the planting date outside simulation periods. Usually planting date and the simulation period. So, if you want to start the simulation date, that may be before the planting date, but simulation date should not be after the planting date. If you see that there is wrong cultivar selections, missing management practices, or incorrect year entry for planting. So, this type of the errors may be there. If you go to warning out, so there it will show that this run 1, this is the model is. So, see the error it can be shown here, the year 2014, day of year 196, that shows planting date is defined prior to the start of simulation date. So, if the planting date is prior to the simulation start date, because simulation starts, but there is no planting. So, model operation, the simulation will not go on. And also you can have the cultivar selections, you have to see the cultivar, what cultivar you have selected, and also you have to see the genotype coefficient also proper there. If genotype coefficient is beyond the range, then model may not operate. So, there may be the error in the cultivar selections, missing management practices. So, if you are seeing the experimental management file, please check it properly. So, all the management practices. So, for running the simulations, you can say or the if you want simulations, you need a cultivar file, the genotype coefficient should be there, planting dates and the planting information has to be there. Then input management, that is what the either the irrigation management, water management, this should be there. If you are going for the rain fed or irrigated, that should be specified in the simulation option file, whether it is a rain fed irrigated, and particularly the simulation start date and the planting date. So, simulation start date makes sure that simulation start date can be exactly at the planting date, or it may be before planting date, but not the reverse. Planting date should not be before the simulation start date. So, if for such type of errors, you can see that can appear in the warning file. So, you have to take care, you have to see look in that one, then you need to go to the model file, then you have to check how you can correct this. So, this all the information the management already we have shared the management file for one rice crop and potato crops. So, itkg1401.rix this management file what we prepared during the input data entry and during the exercise section also sessions. For those management files this RIX we have shared with you through a folder. You can download this management file and you can paste that in the C drive under DSAT. You have to use the same management ITKG 1401 RIX. So, you can go to C drive and see the DSAT where the DSAT already loaded in your the systems. Under that you can put the rice, if you the rice you can put the RIX file, that this management file can be entered there. If you put that one and you open the DSAT in the DSAT window, you can find that file is there. So, the already have shared you the management file for the rice, that is the itkg1401.rix. Similarly, also you have shared the management file for potato itkg .ptx. Those files are shared with you. You can check, you can copy and paste these files in the proper DSAT folder. Then you can access those files in your as a when you go for DSAT window, there you can when you go to run the model you can see the you can access the file there. So, those files so whenever you are given the assignment to you to show us the assignment what the your output what work you have done, how much competence you have got to run the models and get the informations. So, you will be giving assignment for the two crops, one is the rice crop and the potato crop, for which already you have done the data inputs and the exercise. For rice crop the assignment 1 we are giving the climate risk assessment, where you will be running the models for the past 20 years 30 years weather data, that also you have provided the weather data of Kharagpur locations from 2001 to 2020 20 years weather data also shared in this folder. So, you have given weather data. So, particular management option also specified there what you can do, and you can create the experiment on your own. So, earlier we have shown you exercise, but here assignment what we have done. So, we want you do the experiment. The problem we have given is a broad problem. We have given a broad problem. Suppose you have to go for the climate risk management on rice productions. So, in that case earlier what we have done exercise for you, or we have shown the exercise. Now, you create the experiment on your own, create the treatment combination on your own and come out with some of the recommendations. So, that that will be from the DSAT that can go for the policy makers or decision makers. So, the assignment 1 we have given the climate risk management rice production, assignment 2 for the planting time, and that affect the potato productions, and the last assignment we have given, we have to go for the the climate change impact assessment, particularly the elevated CO2 and temperature impacts on the rice productions. So, 3 assignment, 3 groups. So, I hope all the group leaders are there. So, other members I can request members, please contact the group leaders, give your inputs, or you can have Google Meet and give your inputs and let the presentation come from the groups, and we can display to all students. They can see how the students they have taken the assignment and they are able to run the models and make some recommendations based upon the DSAT simulations. So, this is the error for the planting data management. Similarly, we can find the simulation option and control errors. So, where the errors are the incorrect simulation control, there may be the simulation control options, the data entered there may be the errors in date of simulation, as I discussed now. It may happen irrigation fertilizer application methods, that is also simulation options. So, that error may be there, then the wrong model selection and improper output setting. So, this type of errors you can see in the the warning output. So, this type of simulation errors you can see in your screen. The simulation options, check the simulation dates, but so as I told, simulation date should be either same as the planting date or prior to planting date, but not the reverse. Planting date should not be before the simulation date. So, these are the errors you can see. So, what we can do? So, we will go to the DSAT window, we will switch on to DSAT window, and there will show you how you can identify, notice the errors, how you can see the errors, and what are the options, what are the steps you should follow. so that the errors can be rectified and you can go on with your the seamless simulation process. With this, let us go to the DSAT window. So, here you can open the DSAT window and you see the so you can see the serials here, you can see the crop rise. So, here the experiment already the experiments are there. Suppose you can run a model here. So, if you go for edit files, you can see the all the model informations already have shown you here. Go to environments, fields. So, here I have given the medium sandy loam and this is the soil profile, that is as per the name IT 000 last is 11, and this is the weather data already there, IT kg weather data is there, and they can you can see as you did, so that you can check this one. Okay, you can press OK. Then management, you can see the planting. So, there are the different planting dates are given. So, as per the planting date, you can check all the plant with the upper portion labels are there. If you check the labels, so those planting dates should appear here very properly as per the labels specified in the upper portion. So, these are the planting dates, different planting dates are given. Suppose we are giving an error here 2022. So, probably we are seeing the file 2014, right, not 2022. Yeah. So, yeah. So, this some errors, if you okay, you can press OK, and if you see the treatments, so treatment description you can give here. The planting dates you are putting here as a demo you are giving. So, cultivar 1 I have 36, the field already you have one field, one plant. So, 15 June, suppose you are 15 June, then simulation control also 1, that is a particularly the rainfall conditions, we are going for the 1. Press it OK. You can see simulation options, that is a planting dates. So, suppose we have given 2023, start date 2023, but you have given planting date 2022, you are starting on simulation 2023. Or you can give the 2022, but we can give a 15 July instead of 25 July 2022. Your planting date was probably June, we are giving the 25 July 2022 simulation. So, you can press OK, save the file. Refresh. So, select that same experiment, go to run and run model. Okay, go to analysis, and this shows that so there is the model is unable to run the model. So, you can go for the warning out. So, view you can see your warning message. So, here you can see these are the the screen appears, it shows there is some errors in the IP soil, there is some the data will be treated as a missing data is there. Then year 2014 is a year 2022, the simulation years, that is also wrong, it as you given intentionally the simulation years, that is also wrong. Then so these are the you can see from here. So, now I can show you how to rectify this in the model. So, if you go to edit file for the experiment, you can click edit file. So, here fields, the soil is medium sandy loam, and soil is medium sandy loam. There are different files are there, while there is a missing information one of the soil profile. So, you can go on also, I will show you how you can go and check the soil profile, but there is some missing in soil profile. So, you have changed the soil profile here. Then we will go to the simulation options. So, simulation option start date should be at exactly at the planting date or before planting date. You can go to check planting date, accordingly the simulation has to be option has to be given. So, if you can go to planting, if you go to planting, see the plant for the 15 June, the planting is 15 June 2022. So, simulation options start from the 15 June 2022. Simulation options, this should be 15 June 2022. You can give 15 June or you can prior 15 June, but it should not be later to 15 June 2022. So, now you can save the file, you can check simulation. Run the model. Okay, go to analysis. Now, you can see we are able to run the model and you will get the output. If you go to plant row out, so go plant row out, plot. You go to grain weight and tops weight together, highlight the grains weight and tops weight and highlight the treatment, then next. So, still we are unable to see the so that 2022 data is not there, weather data is not there. So, we are though there is a see the output, but we are unable to run. You see the warning message, can you check the warning message? If you check the warning message, yeah, it shows here the weather data, that is 2022 is there is a missing. So, error in the opening the weather file. So, there is error in the weather. Now, you have to again go and make correction in the or the management file, external management, environment, fields. So, you have to check the weather. So, you have to give the weather where the 2022 weather is available. So, you have to change the weather stations for that, and you make sure you click ITKG once again. Can you click ITKG fields, go to ITKG, click that ITKG for the weather you have to find, you have to see whether there is a weather is a 2022 weather is there or not. On the right hand side ITKG. So, here you find the see the 2022 weather ITKG 2201. This data is up to 2020. So, there is no 2020 weather. So, we can go only you can change the planting date to, or you have to give the weather data, or you have to change the planting date, make the planting date up to 2020, or you have to put the weather data of 2020 there. So, your planting dates and the weather data, whenever going planting date, that weather data of same year should be available. Go to again simulation option, press OK, go to simulation option. Here we change it to 15 June 2020. Of course, this same information you have to put in the fields and soil also. OK, press OK. Go to environment again, the fields, go to soil environment fields, again environment, initial condition. Here also you have to check you have to put information measurement date, it is a 15 June 2020. 15 June 2020 or 2020. Then press OK, save the file. You can check here, say 15 June, yeah. Press OK. fertilizer, yeah, give some fertilizer. What? Yeah, if you give the, we are not giving fertilizer, give fertilizer. Give the input management is essential to give plant irrigation already giving rainfed, so fertilizer we are giving fertilizer 3. Yeah, press OK. Okay, so fertilizer you can see the level what you have given, the level is correct also. Say days after planting, you can press OK here. So save the file. Refresh, run the model, analysis, go over plant grow out, plot, choose the grain weight or the tops weight. Yeah, now you can get this. So you need to see the soil file, soil measurement date, that is also showing error. You have to put the soil date. You have to check the weather. So whatever the planting date you have given, that weather data is also available, and you have to give, you have to check the simulation date, and simulation date is properly mentioned there. So then you can have the simulation. Also you can find the, if there is a warning is appearing because of the some errors, you can check the warning, accordingly you can change the correct path and correct value there. So this is all about the how you can see the warning. Similarly, we can show you how you can make the change in the suppose in case you have seen there is a there is a mismatch in the weather data, that we can, how you can go and check the weather data in the DSAT window, also that we can show you. So this is this we have discussed about the managing the handling the experimental management files if there is any errors. So the, and you can from the warning message you can see there is a error in the which file, or the soil file or weather file or the management file or simulation option date. So that you can take care. So we will show one, just will show you how to take care of the the errors in the weather file. So we can close this window. You can go to data sections here, data under data you can go to weather, check daily weather, if you so here you daily weather. So you have to choose your file here from this screen, it just will take some time to appear. So you can see ITKG. Check any year weather, suppose you can view any 1 year weather, click any 1 year. We have taken 20 also, you can click the 2020, it will be better also. View the file, you can view this. So here you can see all the weather data, and from the warning message you can see, notice the what is the line there is error. It can be line 150, line 200. As per that, go to that line and check all the other parameters. If there is a maximum temperature is lower than the minimum temperature, or in any case there is a 0 value is there during a simulation periods. So those things you can notice here, you can see accordingly you can change the value as per the normal observations. There may be erroneous, there may be missing data, no data available, particularly temperature or solar radiations. So those informations you can provide here, then you can save the file. So this the information, if there is any error, you can get from the warning message. Based on informations, you can go to the weather file and check the line where there is a error. Accordingly, you can modify this weather value as per the observation. So these are the some of the errors you may encounter while running the model or doing the exercise. So these are the you can go to view warning message. From that warning message, that will direct you. So what are the, which are the files where you can find the errors, accordingly you can take care of the errors. So this is about the errors in the simulations. So next 3 lectures we will be discussing about the assignments that we have already will be sharing today. Already we are sharing to all the groups and the group leaders. Hope you make a coordinations among yourselves, and please do the assignment and send us your output value which will be presenting to others in the next three classes. With this, I thank you all.